Stardew Valley has become, at least for me personally, the absolute spearhead of the cozy games genre. There is no other game that comes across as immersive and engaging despite pixel graphics. Of course, with any game, sooner or later you reach a point of saturation and start looking for worthy alternatives. And that is where Picontier comes in. But first, let's talk about what makes Stardew Valley stand out and what a worthy alternative needs to have to offer in the first place. Relaxed and casual gaming is definitely a key aspect of Stardew Valley. Unlike fast-paced action games, this title offers a laid-back and stress-free gaming experience. At least there is the option. You can of course also play through Stardew Valley as fast as possible like an ox. In my eyes, however, it is in no way designed for this. You can take your time to plan your farm, grow crops, raise animals, and explore the charming world at your own pace. There is no rush, and the game encourages you to unwind and enjoy the tranquil rural life it offers. The game's immersion stems from the depth of its gameplay mechanics. Stardew Valley features a dynamic season and weather system where you must adapt your farming strategies accordingly. The open-ended nature of the game allows you to choose how you want to spend your time, whether it's developing your farm, participating in community events, or delving into dungeons. Moreover, the game's characters and compelling stories of the townspeople create a sense of connection with the in-game world. As you interact with the townsfolk, build relationships, and learn their unique stories, you become even more invested in the virtual community, deepening the immersive experience. In summary, especially the freedom in the game and the more or less deep inhabitants of Pelican Town makes for an immersive and relaxed gaming experience that is unlike any other. Which in turn of course means that a potential alternative has some pretty big shoes to fill and has to bring a lot to the table. As mentioned at the beginning, sooner or later you reach your personal peak in every game and start looking for alternatives. In the meantime, I have also spent a fair amount of time in Pelican Town and tried out various alternatives. During my more in-depth research, I came across a game that seems to have gone virtually untreaded online. There are hardly any written reviews and so far not a single review video on YouTube. Accordingly, I'd love to catch up with you and summarize what Picontier, a cute indie farming simulation and adventure game developed by Skipmore and published by Fly High Works, has to offer. Picontier is set on a deserted island where you take on the role of a character who wakes up with no memory. The main objective is to explore the island, cultivate the land, raise animals, and build a thriving farm while uncovering the mysteries of your forgotten past. At first, this concept reminded me a bit of the Rune Factory series. Both Stardew Valley and Picontier incorporate exploration and quests that allows you to venture beyond your farm. In Picontier, you can discover new areas of the island, encounter different characters, and engage in tasks to further the storyline. This also means that the focus here is somewhat more on the story in general. Picontier also offers a diverse cast of characters that you can interact with, befriend, and build relationships similar to the social elements present in Stardew. Strengthening these connections may unlock new storylines or offer various in-game benefits. The most obvious similarity is of course the charming pixel art. Picontier reminds me very strongly of old Game Boy Advance times, which I personally like a lot. Stardew Valley is definitely more detailed graphically and also looks a bit more grown up. In terms of gameplay, I'd say Picontier falls somewhere between Littlewood and Stardew Valley. It doesn't come close to the complexity of Stardew, but it is significantly deeper than Littlewood. For example, we have our cabin which we can customize, have a relatively large area for farming right outside the front door, can fish, collect, craft, etc. There's also a town above the farm called Macmail, which houses a number of inhabitants that we can connect with as you would expect. The dialogues are surprisingly versatile. Again, Stardew Valley is ahead of the game, but I was pleasantly surprised. The inhabitants may also be given gifts here to increase the friendship level. The level is marked with hearts and experience bars. I would say the combat system in Picontier is as rudimentary and unspectacular as in Stardew. It somehow reminds of old Zelda games, especially because of the visuals. As I said, it's rather unspectacular, but sufficient. I think you've already figured out that Picontier emulates Stardew Valley in almost all aspects, but doesn't come close to its role model in terms of quality. That's true, yes, but it doesn't automatically make Picontier a bad game or a weak copy. Despite the many parallels, Picontier somehow follows its own path. A Stardew Valley alternative doesn't necessarily have to be as good or even better than Stardew Valley in my eyes. It just has to entertain me in a similar way, and Picontier does that in any case. So feel free to try it out, don't go in with the biggest expectations and just enjoy the game without comparing every mechanic to Stardew. You will definitely have your fun with it. Please feel free to write me your opinion about the game in the comments. Have you already tried it out? If you like my little insider tip, feel free to show me with a thumbs up and a free subscription. Thanks for checking in and see you next time on Switch Chat.